My name is Varghese and I'm from Trichy. Today I'm going to talk about renewable energy and their use in Indian context. First let's think about what is renewable energy. Renewable energy is energy that is collected from renewable resources which are naturally replenished on a human timescale, such as sunlight, wind, rain, tides, waves and geothermal heat. In 2012, the world relied on renewable sources for around 13.2% of its total energy supply. In 2013, the renewables account for almost 22%, and experts foresee that raising up to about 26% in 2020. If we look around the world, around 15% of United States electrical energy is from renewable sources, and 25% of China's is from renewable sources. Compared to that, about 18.3% of India's total renewable energy generation is from renewable sources, but this is without including large hydroelectric powers that India has opted not to include as renewable energy source. If you are adding large hydropowers also, then India uses 32% of its energy requirements from renewable energy sources. First, let's look at hydroelectric powers. India is the 7th largest producer of hydroelectric power in the world. As of 30th April 2017, India's installed utility scale hydroelectric capacity was 44,500 megawatts, or 13.5% of the total utility of energy capacity. Small hydropowers come under the ambit of Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, while large hydropower comes under the ambit of Ministry of Power. Next, let's look at wind power. The development of wind power in India began in 1990s and has significantly increased in the last few years. Although a relatively new compared to the wind energy industry compared to Denmark or US, domestic policy support for wind power has led India to become the world's 4th largest wind power capacity installed country. As of 20th February 2017, the installed capacity of wind power in India was 29,150 megawatts, mainly spread across Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. Wind power accounts for 14% of India's total installed power capacity, and India has set an ambitious target of 60,000 megawatts of electricity from wind power in 2022. Now let's go to solar power. India is a highly densely populated and and has high solar insolation, an ideal combination for using solar power around the world. Announced in November 2009, the Government of India proposed to launch its Jawaharlal Nehru National Solar Mission under the National Action Plan on Climate Change with a target of 20 gigawatts by 2022, which was later increased to 100 gigawatts by the same date by Narendra Modi. Achieving this national solar mission target would make India the global leader in solar power generation. Now let's talk about biomass power. India has an ideal environment for biomass production given its tropical location and abundant sunshine and rains. The country's vast agricultural potential provides high agro residues which can be used to meet its energy needs, both in heat and power applications. According to experts, biomass can supplement the use of coal to the tune of about 260 million tons, and that will be saving India about 250 billion rupees every year. It's estimated that the potential of biomass energy in India is 16,000 megawatts from biomass energy and a further 3,500 megawatts from bagasse cogeneration. Biomass materials can be used for power generation include bagasse, rice husk, straw, cotton stalk, coconut shells, soya husk, de-oiled cakes, coffee waste, jute waste, etc. And now we'll talk about the last major contributor of renewable energy in India, which is waste materials. Every year, about 55 million tons of municipal solid waste and 38 billion liters of sewage is generated in urban India. In addition, large quantities of solid and soil and liquid waste are generated by industries. Waste generation in India is expected to rise rapidly in the future. As more and more people migrate to urban areas and income rises, consumption levels are likely to rise, as are rates of waste generation. It is estimated that the amount of waste generation in India will rise to a per capita rate of approximately 1.33% annually. This has significant impact on the amount of land and that is and will be needed for disposal, economic costs of collecting and transporting waste, and the environmental consequences of increased municipal solid waste generation levels. India has a long involvement in anaerobic digestion and biogas technologies. Wastewater treatment in the country has been established, which produce renewable energy from sewage gas. However, this is still a significantly untapped potential. Also, waste from distillery sector are on some sites converted into biogas to run as a gas engine for a local generator on-site power. Now let's look at tidal energy. With India's 7,500 kilometers of coastline, it's one form of energy that has huge potential but is not at all used in India. India has been looking at generating energy through tidal power since 1980s. India had plans for a project for harnessing this energy from Panjapada River in Odisha and Andaman Nicobar Islands. Indian Ministry of New and Renewable Energy made an assessment of potential for tidal energy in India, and it was estimated that India can produce about 7,000 megawatts of power in the Gulf of Kambak in Gujarat, another 1,200 megawatts in the Gulf of Kutch in Gujarat, and another 100 megawatts in the Gangetic Delta of Suburbans in West Bengal. India created a 3.75 megawatt power plant in Durgadunai Creek, which caught national attention for all the wrong reasons. In April 2013, it was announced that the project was going to be abandoned due to cost escalations, despite the Ministry of Non-Conventional and Renewable Energy providing 90% of the project costs. It is surprising that a country that is so well endowed with the potential for tidal energy, India does not have a tidal energy policy in place. It becomes critical to have a strong policy in place to have clarity on commercial development as well as the tariffs for power generation through a particular energy source. A strong policy would be the first step towards generating interest among developers and getting the right focus towards development of tidal energy as an electricity source. Though India has the potential to develop more than 8,000 megawatts of electricity via tidal energy, it is important to note that the projects were planned earlier were abandoned due to high cost. Before looking at renewable energy sources of India needs to consider factors like environmental impact of these projects on ecosystem, transmission requirements, and electricity from coastal regions to the populated center part of the country, as well as to set in place a strong tidal energy policy to attract investors to projects. With further interest and continued support of people, India can lead the world in use of renewable energy. Thank you.